Oh, I
Oi.
heard you.
Yes?
Wait, let me grab my gun. You missed. Ow.
I did not miss.
Oh, I had to pay a medical bill. Oh, gross.
You have to pay a medical bill?
Yeah. It was probably really high because I was on drugs. Oh no, I couldn't really read the bill statement because I was on drugs.
Oi!
Revenge.
You just zoomed past me. Oh, fuck! Schedule 1 took the industry by storm. While most people were complaining about how terrible Assassin's Creed Shadow is, at the same time, that game was almost forgotten about as everyone went to see this new indie title. At first glance, it looks like a goofy game with characters made out of Play-Doh. You may think, how can a game that looks so weird suddenly skyrocket in sales and player count? Well, let's find out. My name is Excalligator. I rate games based on many categories that would fit into most survival games, based on a 1 to 5 system. If a category does not apply, it will not affect the game's overall score. Now let us get started. Now, this isn't a survival game like I normally play, but this is one of the rare times that I am taken by a game. You know a game is good when you look at your clock, see it's 7 AM, you feel like you play for an hour or two, and then you look down and suddenly it's 10 PM. In the last week alone, I put over 60 hours between 2 different play files. Schedule 1 is a simulator game where you make and sell drugs on the street. As you earn money, you can spend it to grow your drug empire, just don't get caught by the police. The character creation is minimal, though you can get a good chuckle from the fact that you can make yourself look like a crackhead. There are more customization options in the main game, well, from clothing to different haircuts at the barber. But for now, I'm gonna rate this character customization a 3 out of 5. It's basic enough, but not expanse. You start off in a tutorial area, at least if you choose not to opt out of it. This is where it teaches you the fundamentals from your uncle, from making your first sale to learning about body searches and more. After about 5 minutes of gameplay, you can return home to start the next segment, where it opens you up to a cutscene of the cops arresting your uncle and you making a getaway. You leave the south and make your way up north along the coast where you start from nothing, and I mean nothing, as a rival gang blows up your RV. Now your uncle will help you set up with some cash and contacts, but after that you're pretty much on your own to grow weed and sell it to customers. The intro of the game, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. It gives you a mild bit of background and some story while teaching you the fundamentals and getting you going, with it being all easy to follow along. The map is technically open world, and I would say a medium size. If you walk, it could take you a long time to travel, but eventually with various modes of transportation like skateboards or vehicles, it can be traveled quickly. The map itself consists of different areas of the city, from downtown to uptown, suburbs, shipping docks. Each area you could travel to freely. However, you can't really sell to the customers unless you unlock the area first, as they are pretty much level gated, but we'll talk about that later. There are many stores and places you can go to and use, such as gas stations, hardware stores, the casino, barber, clothing, realtor, etc. Skateboards are the best method to zoom around, especially at low level. Even in the endgame, the golden skateboard is one of the best items. When it comes to vehicles, there are different types with pros and cons. They all have trunks to store items in, but some will have more speed while others will have more room. The van, for an example, is a great transportation unit with a lot of items that you can store, but it is slower. The Cheetah, aka the Mustang GT, is the fastest car, but only 4 inventory slots. Of course, I bought them both, as the van is great for moving product and buying supplies, while the Mustang is just because it goes vroom across the map, and because I have one in real life. I even painted it the same color as mine. The only issue is that while I said that the map is a decent size, with how fast the Mustang is, it makes it feel so small. Eventually there will be a map extension, but for now I don't really have anywhere to drive at full speed. With the different areas and how different they are, the various shops and services you can visit, I'm going to go ahead and give the map design and exploration a 5 out of 5. Ooh. Oh! Blackjack!
I won!
Yeah, but did you get
Because I got blackjack too. I did.
The progression of the game stems from how much drugs you can make and how fast you can sell it. You start off making and selling a small amount by yourself. Eventually you move up and make more, then you can hire people to make and do the process for you. By endgame you should have a fully automatic drug factory and processing plant with dealers to sell it all for you. There are levels that you can grow within the game. Every 5 levels should unlock a new area of the map with new customers, dealers, and even suppliers. The way the gameplay loop works is the more or less addictive part. You can visually see the difference between each day as you get more and more money. Numbers go up as you make more sales. It really motivates you to keep playing and see the numbers go higher, from barely making a few $100 to thousands a day. The drugs themselves can also have a form of progression, as right now you only have 3 types of drugs: weed, meth, and cocaine, each one a little bit harder to produce yet more expensive to sell, and beyond that you can mix them to create new effects and different levels of addictiveness for your customers. We can talk about that in the next section, but the effects themselves are very silly. This is a game where it doesn't take itself too seriously, as the topic of drug abuse and such can be very serious and even sad. This segment is what takes the seriousness and lightens the mood by making what the customers feel come out into person, from feeling like your neck is growing long to make it actually grow, to your head being on fire, lightning bolts, seizures, and even gender swapping and race swapping. The more you mix, the better and more combinations you can make. There are nearly countless variations. I will say that I like the random name generation, as it makes some really funny names, but you can also name the drugs yourself. However, I don't like that you can't change the names after it's initially discovered. I wish you could. I'm going to give this section a 5 out of 5 for being as addictive as the drugs you sell. Oh no, Dan is straight. He won't take any.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's funny. Yeah.
Motherfucker! How'd you see me?
You going good?
No. The customers and police are fairly smart for a game like this. Each character has likes, dislikes, and a reputation level, an addict level, and a wealth level. When you initially start the game, most of the characters you find in the first starting zone will have low standards. Pretty much they'll take whatever you give them. However, they are cheap, and so they'll try to undercut you, and will not be paying more for more expensive stuff later. While in later zones, you are in the more rich neighborhoods. They can afford whatever you sell, but they have higher standards and demands of what they like and don't like. Now, your phone in the game is the main menu with different apps controlling different aspects. One of the apps is to list your products for sale. On the same page, you can see what your items sell for and to change it to make it more or less expensive. You can also see how addictive each product is. The more it is, the more the customers will want to buy it. It also affects how agreeable they are and willing to buy for more. But you do have to still be reasonable, as they can decline the offer, and at times, if you anger them, they will try to kill you. There was one character who ran up to me begging for a hit, as that's how addicted they were, and all I had on me was a jar, which is equal to 5 items. They refused the offer, but became angered and tried to knife me. That is when I pulled out my 9 and shot him in the face. So yeah, you really need to arm yourself in this game, as not only do the NPCs attack you, but the police can too. The police are strict and are not very friendly. During the day, they lightly patrol and will set up roadblocks to check for drugs in various vehicles. The roadblocks will go away at night, but the patrols will increase at night. From cop cars to a couple of cops, they have nearly unlimited view distance in front of them. If you try to sell drugs in front of them, they will see and aggro you. They can randomly body search you too as you walk by. Also at night, during the curfew, they will aggro right away if they see you. There are different levels of wanted. You start off under arrest, then move into wanted, and both of these will have the cops chase you and try to tase you as they arrest you. Now, the longer you evade them or fight back, the final level of wanted is dead or alive, where the tasers are put away and now they will shoot at you. If you are arrested or killed, it yields fairly the same outcome. Your illegal items are taken and you will end up at either the police station if arrested or at the hospital if you're shot, and you will have to pay a fine. The cops can also be tricky to avoid from if you're wanted, unlike games like Skyrim where if they lose line of sight, they'll just go to the last known spotted site and look for you there. In this game, if they lose sight of you, they continue the direction you were heading and search far and wide, which can lead them to finding you easily if you don't keep running through the trees or alleys. Hiding can sometimes work, but not always. I'm going to give this section a 5 out of 5. It is fairly detailed and thorough for such a small game. There is a roadmap for the game that will add rival gangs, police raids, new drug types, additional map extensions, and so on. But so far as of this review, they have only added new store locations and some new decorative items, which is only a few weeks after the early access launch, so I can say that this is on good track. Though it's not enough time has passed to really determine how fast the game will be updated and how consistent, so I'm not going to rate this section just yet. I can happily say that this game is fairly polished. I haven't had any game-breaking bugs, and very little graphical issues, such as cars melding into the streets. But the gameplay itself, I've seen, has like no issues at all. Now, when it comes to lag, I do have occasional frame drop spikes once or twice during multiplayer. I had the game freeze for maybe 10 seconds and then continue on without issue, but they were far and few between. So it didn't really hinder my experience other than it happened just enough to notice. I'm going to give this section a 4.5 out of 5. It's not perfect, but very good and polished for its first few weeks. My overall score for Schedule 1 is going to be a 4.6 out of 5. Damn, nearly a 5 out of 5. No, not quite. This is just the beginning, as so much more is planned for this game. As of right now, it feels like it could be a fully realized game with very little bugs, good NPC reactions, and the addictive gameplay loop and progression. I highly recommend this game for anyone who is thinking about it, and will continue to keep playing this game even after my review. And that is the end of this video. If you liked my review, please subscribe to this channel as I will be making more in-depth reviews of open-world sandbox survival RPG games, including those that no one ever talks about from the deepest, darkest depths of Steam. Some games that even look like the muck at the bottom of my pond. If you have any suggestions for what game to do next, please comment below and like this video. Florida Gator Man out.